Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to go through a little bit of Python keywords, syntax, and conditions. Now, keywords are sort of restricted words that you sort of can use in Python, but you can't declare them on your own because they're restricted to they're restricted words that are only available in Python to use, but not to declare. So, for example, a for loop, just like in any other programming languages, you can't declare a variable named for. So if I try to do for is equal to 5, it says it's invalid syntax because for is a Python restricted keyword. So I'm not going to go through every one of those keywords. You can go ahead and Google them and pretty much just learn about them. But I'm going to go through at least the if condition right now in this video. Now, while this happens, I'm also going to explain a little bit about the Python syntax. So in other languages, you probably have used curly braces to define code blocks. Python, you don't quite have that. In fact, it's quite the opposite. You use tabs to denote where your code belongs to exactly. So let me give you an example, right? So if I were to say a is equal to 5, right? And then if a is equal to 4, print this has worked. Else print a is not 4. It is something else. Now, let's explain what exactly happened here. Now, this is my condition, and this colon here denotes that everything after this line that is tabbed over is a part of this code block. And we can actually work that out here as well in our little file. So let's go ahead and open this file, for example. And I've got it set to Python. So we'll come back to what dice.py is in a future video. So if I were to do something here exactly, so say a is equal to 5, and then if a is equal to 4, print this has worked, else print a is not 4, it is something else. Now, we already saw this worked in our little terminal window here. Now, but what I wanted to show you is exactly how code blocks work. So this is the code block for the condition. So if you see this line here, everything after this particular colon belongs to this line in line 2. So when you collapse it, it shows just line 2, and that's it. So everything inside of it is because of this condition. Now, this can belong to a function, or sorry, when I say this, I mean the colon can be a part of a function, a part of a condition like this one, a loop, a class, whatever else might be, wherever it might be applicable. So, but this is exactly what denotes a code block in Python, where in other languages you might have something like this. And so if a is equal to 5, and then you have these curly braces, and then print this has worked. Like so, in other languages, this is actually deemed a code block like so. However, not so in Python. You cannot use curly braces to denote a code block. That will result in an error because curly braces are meant for sets and dictionaries. So that is exactly how Python syntax works. And some people like this, some people don't like this because you have to keep in, if you have like a very long number of lines of files, you have to keep in mind where exactly your code is. I was like, oh, if I'm tabbed over like, X number of spaces due to some nested conditions, then you have to keep that in mind, that this is part of this block and this is part of this block, and these are all nested in exactly. And some people don't like that, and that's fine. Like to each their own at that point. So, but this is exactly how Python works. If you can use your editor to collapse and and uncollapse your code block, it makes things a little more simpler. Now, moving on to just conditions. Let's go back here. So in this terminal, we said if a is equal to 4, print this, else print this. Now, this is pretty simple. The condition is if a is equal to, with a double equal to sign, like in some other languages. JavaScript, you have to have 3 for some reason. I'm not sure exactly why. And then the value that you assign it to. Now, what about if you have like a list, for example, you have a list of items, and then you want to work with something inside the list to see if it results true. So for example, like let's say that I have fruits, right? Fruits is equal to, and this is very cliche, apple, orange, banana, strawberry, and then we can say something like if pineapple is in fruits, print pineapple is in the list fruits. Otherwise, print pineapple is not in the list fruits. Add it. Boom. Adding it, and then we'll actually have fruits dot append pineapple. Now, before I continue on, let's see what's happening here. So this is actually going to check if the word or string pineapple is inside the array fruits. It's going to go through all of these. Like sometimes, if you know programming prior to this, it's basically like looking through the array and going through a for loop, and then is apple equal to pineapple? No. Then is orange equal to pineapple? No. Is banana equal to pineapple? No. So it's basically going to go through each one of these and say if pineapple is equal to any one of these, then it's going to go ahead and print this. It's already in fruits. We don't need to do anything. Else, it's going to go ahead and print pineapple is not in the list fruits, and it's going to adding it. And then fruits.append pineapple, and it will then be there. And it says pineapple is not in the list fruits because it wasn't, and then therefore it added it. So let's take a look at fruits now. It should have added it, and it did. You see, pineapple is indeed right here. So this condition block was met. It's not even a condition. Basically, like this condition block was not met, therefore this ran. This is an else case, so pretty simple logic. So, but what I'm trying to show here is that this condition didn't need a for loop because of the word in. If something is in a dictionary or in an array or a list, you can just use a simple condition rather than writing a for loop and writing all that logic out in Python. So in is a pretty good keyword to use and is used quite often. However, if you have like a million indexed array, this probably will take a little bit. So expect it to be a little slow. This is just a 5-string array now, so it'll be pretty fast. But I'm just showing you the logic here, exactly how this works. So that's pretty much how conditions work. Now, one of the things that I didn't show you is basically what if we had multiple conditions to follow, right? So now that we got pineapples in there, so if let's add a few more conditions in there, right? So if watermelon, what if we want to check more than one thing? So if watermelon in fruits and strawberry in fruits, oops, forgot it's not a double ampersand like some other languages. Print both fruits are in the list fruits, else one or both are not in the list fruits. So what we're saying here is it's going to check for both. Okay, so it's going to check for watermelon in fruits, which obviously isn't there, and it's going to check for strawberry in fruits, which obviously is there. Now this is a keyword or an operator called and it's pretty much just like the English and. You know, if this and that apply, then it's going to go ahead and do this. Otherwise, it's going to go ahead and do this part. So we're going to go ahead where we can't really do anything at this point because we don't want to append both watermelon and strawberry, because then you'll have two strawberry in fruits. So we only want to append it once. So let's go ahead and find a way. So let's go ahead and append them both, and then we'll remove duplicates if need be. So let's add, let's hypothetically say we don't know the fruits that we're checking for, and we'll do fruits dot append watermelon, which we're okay with having, and then, but we're not going to be okay with having strawberry in there. But we don't really know if strawberry is in there or not if this is the only thing we see, if we didn't know what the array held. So then we need to find a way to remove duplicates. Let's Google that really quick. Because I don't exactly remember. There we go. Quick Stack Overflow. And then to remove duplicates, use set A to print duplicates, something like this. Import collections. No, that's not exactly. That's a little too complicated to check. Yeah, this will be a coding challenge that we'll put up a video for. I guess there's no like easy way to check or easy method to check if there's duplicates. Yeah, there's no easy method. So since that's the case, I'll make that into a separate video. But what we can do is we can just go ahead and add them both and then just go from there. So only one or both fruits are not in the list, so therefore it added it. Now if we look at fruits, we're going to have strawberries there twice. Yep. So I guess if you want to challenge yourself now, if you already know how for loops work, try and find duplicates in the list that you're given. So if you take this list, for example, try and see if you can find a duplicate and go from there. So this video is just meant for conditions and explain the basic syntax, especially with the colon and the tabbed Python and so on. So I'll see you guys in the next video. In the next video, we're going to go over for loops, and then the video after that, we're going to go over while loops and with conditions and so on. All right, bye.